Welcome to Crawfordsville High School for the 13th annual Sugar Creek Classic. If you're just now joining us, Southmont currently has an 8-2 advantage over Western Boone. We're coming in a little late due to some technical difficulties. We got those figured out now. Western Boone is coming into a full timeout after Southmont just went on an 8-2 run. All 8 points, almost all of 8 points, coming from Justin Howard, the leading scorer for Southmont, averaging 20 points per game. The last basket was scored by Southmont's Luke Gregg, the sophomore. He's averaging about 1.8 points per game, and he just scored the 8th point for the Mounties as they take a really big lead, or well, a 6-point lead over the Western Boone Stars. Southmont came into this game as the defending Sugar Creek Classic champions, and Western Boone looking to try and recapture a Sugar Creek Classic championship.
All right, well, I hope that's all the technical difficulties we'll have to worry about for today.
Hope so.
As we get this game going halfway through the first quarter.
There's Schallenberger with a pull-up jumper from the elbow, and it's no good. Rebounded by Stanley of Southmont. Southmont wearing the black and red jerseys. Western Boone in the white. And a traveling call right there on Stanley.
You got to be careful with those turnovers. Southmont had a lot of turnovers last game these two teams played. Of course, the Stars won that one 48-44. Much different team in white tonight. Southmont, that was the first game of a 4-game win streak for the Stars, and Southmont has not won since.
Yeah, as a team, Southmont averages about 17.9 turnovers per game. Here's Wright. He scored the only lone basket for Western Boone, and right there, too strong inside. It's rebounded by Gregg. Here's Howard, and he's going to be called for the travel. Justin Howard has been the leading scorer here for Southmont, even though he's only played in 6 games. First 4 games were due to suspension. The details of that are unknown.
We're still trying to get the scoreboard figured out. Right now, the real score is 8-2. Looks like we just got that updated.
Here's Morton. He missed a 3-pointer earlier from that side. Spencer Wright with it. And a turnover for Western Boone again.
That's a big one. Last week against Harrison, the Stars, they got down early, and it really cost them. And here they're already down early.
Yeah, looking at that last game against Harrison, they lost that one 56-48. They only shot 19 of 47 from the field. Shooting 40% against Harrison versus their previous game, which was against Covington. They shot 51%, 29-57.
That was a great game, and what they did is they were able to keep their composure and make their shots, and that's something we didn't see against Harrison.
Oh, and right there, Gregg rolls inside, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Spencer Wright. Wright tried to take the charge. He's going to get called for it. Gregg is going to go to the free throw line.
Now, I know Southmont's up 8-2, but before the game started, I was watching these Mounties warm up, and they were having trouble hitting their shots just standing around shooting. And that's really not what we're seeing. They're already up.
Yeah, they're already
up some points. 9-2 is the score. The scoreboard has it wrong. They just gave the point to the Stars up on the wall, so see if they can get that corrected.
Yeah, Gregg shoots 40% from the free throw line. He misses a second one there.
There we go.
There's Stoudemire. He set 2 career highs in back-to-back games over his last 3 games. In the last game, he was held to 4 points and lost to Harrison. Hull's going to tee up at 3. Schallenberger's going to fight for the rebound. It's going to be a jump ball. Still be Southmont basketball.
Down 7, you can't just go and shoot up any 3 you see. You got to wait and get a nice shot set up.
Well, now they're going to bring in Andrew McAtee. Andrew McAtee, the senior for Western Boone, senior transfer, came off the bench in his last game, scored 7 points, provided a spark offensively after Schallenberger failed to perform.
He's been having a solid year this year. Not too bad of a job by the transfer from Manchester.
Yeah, I'm looking at his numbers. He's averaging about 3.4 points per game off the bench.
He's a center, obviously.
There's Justin Howard. He threw up a shot inside the three-point line. Couldn't get it to fall. Stoudemire goes in between the trees. He finds McAtee in the corner. McAtee goes straight to the rack, and he's blocked by Roach.
Now, they didn't even attempt to set up the offense there. They just started shooting, and you can't do that when you're down by 7 early in this game.
And a bad turnover there for Southmont. It was a quick turnover on the offensive end. The turnover was committed by Justin Howard. Tried to get the transition offense running. Right now, if you're the Stars, you got to find a way to get your shots to fall. They got a lid on the basket right now. Here's Wright driving inside, got his man to jump. He's going to throw up a shot, blocked, and once again rebounded. That's by number 14 right there. That is Austin Bowman. Driving inside was Drew Glancy coming off the bench for the Mounties. That goes out of bounds. So we Southmont basketball.
Yeah, it will. And the Stars, they're doing a pretty good job on defense. And I got to say, I know Southmont's up by 7, but last time they scored was a free throw a couple minutes ago. So they're holding Southmont. The problem is they're not scoring on offense.
They actually called a foul on Cortez Stoudemire. It's a second foul of the game, the team's third. Here's Glancy. Now finds Ryan Stanley. Stanley goes to the elbow and finds Glancy again in the corner. Southmont working the ball around. Looking for a way to score. We're going to call traveling call. Turnover Austin Bowman. Southmont with the continuous turnovers. It's going to eat them alive if they can't go on a big run against Western Boone. Already on 9-2 advantage.
Yeah, exactly. And they've had plenty of opportunities to score points. They haven't done it. Same with the Stars, but at least Southmont has a 7-point advantage here early in this one. That pick almost went sideways, but...
Oh, P.Y. tried to find his man there. That's a jump ball call. Andrew McAtee gets the jump. It's Western Boone's basketball.
Southmont's having a season to forget. They've only won 1 game, and they're really looking like not this bad of a team that we're thinking when they're up 9-2. They're up by 7 right now. So they're really coming out and shocking the Stars right now.
Yeah, they gave Western Boone a pretty big fight in their last time these two teams faced. Right here, Wright rolls to the basket, and he gets the right-handed layup. Finally takes the lid off the basket for Western Boone. Now only a 5-point lead. Up top is Howard. Howard tucks it, rolls inside, throws up the shot, gets his own rebound, and puts it back up and in. Justin Howard is having himself a night.
He's averaging 20 points a game, and of course he's only played in the 6 games, but he's been very effective in all 6 of those.
We call a kick ball violation here.
So the only win under Southmont's name is, guess who, against North Montgomery, one of the other teams in the Sugar Creek Classic. So
Southmont is defending Sugar Creek Classic champions. They always manage to show up in these games. Last year they were led by leading scorer Cam Chad, who's now playing Division II basketball. He's averaging about 31 points per game last season for the Mounties. Here's Adam Pratt, the leading three-point shooter for Western Boone. Knocks it down from beyond the arc.
That really helps. Now they're going to go into this break with a 7-11 ball game. So instead of going 9-2 here in just 1 minute, it's 11-7. Nice job to put up points on the board late in that first quarter.
It was a good shot by Pratt. Put Western Boone back in this ball game now. Instead of being down 9-2, like you said, only an 11-7 advantage. And that's a pretty big spark there off the bench.
Well, they're taking a break on the court, so we'll take a break up here as well and be back with you in a minute here on WBTV Sports.
The debate about sports specialization by high school athletes continues. Some argue that high school athletes who play one sport all year long have a better chance of landing a lucrative pro contract. But that's simply not true. In fact, 30 of the 32 first-round picks in last year's NFL draft played more than one sport in high school. Of the 32 players drafted, 22 also participated in high school track and field. 19 also played basketball. Some also played baseball and lacrosse. What's the path to success for high school athletes here in Indiana, no matter what their goals might be? Study hard. Always do your best. And if you can, play more than one sport in high school. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
And welcome back here to Crawfordsville High School. The Southmont Mounties leading 11-7 over the Western Boone Stars after Adam Pratt hit a three-pointer to draw Western Boone back within range, and a turnover committed by Southmont. Adam Pratt didn't see any action in 2 games ago against Covington. He last played against Harrison. He didn't take any shots in his last game. He was 0 for 0. He's only attempted 8 of 17. He's hit 8 of 17 on the season, shooting 47%.
And he has the ball right now, trying to make some magic behind the three-point line. Big momentum changer. Nice job. Nice job, Peyton Young, with that too. But that was really a big momentum changer, hitting that three coming out of the half, and then they coming out of the quarter, coming out of the break with the turnover as well, and put up 2 more points.
And right there, Justin Howard back at it again, down in the low post. He's doing a good job from that mid-range spot. McAtee down low, finds Pratt in the corner. Now they give it to Wright. Western Boone just trying to work the ball around. Looking for somewhere to go. Pratt frees himself up. Doesn't take the shot. He finds hole. Here's McAtee on the outside, and he's going to be called for the travel.
These silly turnovers you can't have.
Peyton Young is averaging 6.9 points per game this season. He's the assist leader on the team with 3.7. Likes to dish the ball out to his teammates. He can also get to the rack in style. Very good job at making his body compact to where defenders can't get a hand on him. And right here, nice roll to the basket. They're going to call a blocking foul on Peyton Young. And that's an M1 play right there for Cole Roach.
Cole Roach did a nice job there. The senior going up and putting points on the board. Now we'll have a chance to put one more.
It makes a 6-point advantage again. Morton comes back in for Spencer Wright for Western Boone.
Wright's the leading scorer for this team. Lucas Morton is not far behind.
Yeah,
averaging
Lucas
almost 10 points a game.
He's averaging about 10.3, while Spencer Wright's 11.9. Peyton Young with some dribble moves. Kicks it off to Adam Pratt, and he gets it back to himself. Morton gets freed up. Now looking low in the post. Nobody's open. Southmont running that man-to-man defense. And they're going to call traveling on Connor Hull. He took too many steps. It's not looking good for both teams. They've been turning the ball over quite a bit.
It looks a lot like the game that they played earlier in the year that only ended 48-44. So they really got to get some more of their shots sunk in if either of these teams want to pull away.
Yeah, over their last 3 games, Western Boone has been averaging just about 70 points per game. They've scored 70, 71, and 48. And that's Justin Howard again, 2-pointer. Howard going to work early.
You just got to kick it out and run the offense, guys. You can't just go and look for these points.
That 3 rattles out, and a foul will be called on number 3, Drew Glancy, as Connor Hull went up for the rebound.
As soon as he got the ball, Peyton Young tried to drive inside and make something happen. If you just sit back and run through the offense, that's when you're going to get the most points. I think they know that. I think they've experienced enough of these scoring droughts to know how to put up points. At least they know what they're doing wrong.
There's Morton flying to the basket and finishing it with the right hand. Morton's done a better job this year of getting to the basket. Last year, he's more of an outside shooter, but this year he's made an effort to go to the basket a lot more. And he's had great success going there, shooting above 40%. Justin Howard, currently leading the scoring category for the Mounties. Glancy drives inside, swing pass to the corner. Southmont doing a nice job swinging around. Another travel.
That one will go on number 12, Ryan Stanley, the 6'1" senior. Another pointless turnover here.
Southmont's got to be careful with those jab steps. They've been getting called a lot. They're moving the pivot foot too much.
That they are. Got to be more careful with the ball. You got to protect it, especially with this lead.
You got to establish pivot foot too, establish your ground. It's not like the NBA where you can get away with 4 steps. There's Western Boone working it around.
That's got to be a travel.
Ooh, and that's bad right there.
They didn't call that.
McAtee's going to get fouled jumping inside. And the Southmont coach thought should get a travel call. That's 12 Ryan Stanley, who committed the turnover earlier on the other end. McAtee at the free throw line. That was a rainbow shot, and it just barely rolls off the rim for Andrew McAtee. McAtee this year is 50% from the free throw line. Throws one up, and that is good, so he will remain 50% from the stripe. He always finds a way to get that second one to fall, make the adjustments.
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent with that 50%, going across the board with that. As you mentioned, it's usually not the first one that he knocks through. It's usually that second one. Very good at adjusting, and that's not just set for free throws. He does that all throughout the game in all faucets.
Stanley with the misfire from 3 range. Morton curls one up, and he lets it fall through.
3-point ball game.
And somehow the Stars have managed to fight their way back into it after being down a large margin. And now Southmont's going to take their first timeout. 30-second timeout for the Mounties.
30-second timeout down there. We'll take a 15-second one and be back with you in a minute. You're watching high school basketball at Sugar Creek Classic.
WBTV Sports is looking for sponsors to help keep us on the air. Year-long memberships are just $100 for the fall, winter, and spring sports seasons. WBTV will create a personal ad just for you. Contact instructor Matt Foxworthy by logging on to westernbooneradioandtv.com.
No, well, maybe, yeah. We need to fix our scoreboard here.
All right.
Well, we're back here in Crawfordsville High School. We got a close one here, 3-point game. Southmont is ahead by 3. Southmont comes in, only winning 1 game. The Stars, of course, 4-3 after a 4-game win streak. That 4-game streak started against Southmont a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was snapped by the Harrison Raiders coming in from West Lafayette. The Raiders had a very tough team playing 5A basketball. They've been playing out-of-state competition for a while now.
They're still a beatable team. The Stars just weren't able to get it done because a lot of missed shots, a lot of bad turnovers.
Yeah, you said it. They shot pretty poorly
tonight. Look at that, wide open.
Can't rattle it in.
You got to have those for your Southmont, but he did make up for it with that turnover. Cole Roach reaches up and grabs it.
Oh, McAtee steals it right back. That's a blocking foul called on Southmont. Roach with that call. Justin Howard is a special player for Southmont. In his last game, he had 20 points. And I want to point out one big performance he had. He scored 41 points on 15 of 26 shooting against Greencastle. They ultimately lost that game by 5 points. 60-55 was the final score.
Well, he's averaging 20 points, and, of course, he had that 41 performance. But the week before that, in the loss to Danville, he only had 4 points.
And right there, Morton rattles home a 3.
So he's been pretty consistent with that 20 mark. He's 16 his first week back, 20, 19, and 20 are a couple more scores. So he's pretty close to that 16 to 20 mark. But
Roach responds from the corner on the other end for Southmont. They extend their lead back to 3. Pratt gets freed up, looking to go somewhere. On the wing, finds McAtee. McAtee now to Morton, who's going to trigger a 3. Trying to respond back. Well, again, Roach comes down with the rebound. And Justin Howard bringing it up the left side of the court, baseline. Howard goes middle, deflected by Spencer Wright. Greg tries a slip screen down into the paint. Taking it right now, Bowman drives inside, and he finishes.
That was a nice play. That's all I'm going to say. He does a nice job just driving in and putting up points. Doesn't get much better than that.
Southmont looking for some revenge on Western Boone. Western Boone beat them earlier in this year at Southmont.
Only lost by 4 points, and there's a heartbreaker for the Mounties, who are trying to put up their second win of the season at that point. They weren't able to get it done.
McAtee ends up getting another offensive rebound for Western Boone, And Peyton Young triggers another three.
Where did his threes come from? He started, what was it, 0 for 7 from threes, and he's made a three in each of his last games.
Peyton Young has done a great job over his last 3 games of shooting the basketball on three-pointers. In his last few games, he shot 100%, 50%, and 100% in his last game. Here's Wright flying to the basket, and he finishes strong with both hands on the right side.
Tie ball game. Southmont has the ball with a minute left in this half. We have ourselves a classic game here in the Sugar Creek Classic.
A back-and-forth battle between teams. It's mainly been Howard for Southmont. Oh, and a fling-up right there. Out of bounds is the call. It's another turnover for Southmont.
It's always mainly been Howard, and it's amazing how much he can carry the team. His first game back from that suspension was their team's only win, 1-point overtime thriller against North Montgomery. So he's really a leader on this team, and he's where most all of the production comes from.
Yeah, Peyton Young started off the year 0 of 5 from 3 range, and since then he's been 2 of 2, 1 of 2, and 1 of 1.
He's only missed one since that 0 for 5 mark.
He's shooting 40% from behind the arc.
A lot of people were telling him, just why do you still even try? You've missed your first 5 free throws or 3-pointers of the year. Why do you keep shooting them? And he stayed persistent, and now he's really came into one of the top 3 shooters on this team, shooting 40%, as you mentioned.
Shooter shoot. Now 7 seconds. Southmont got to get some defensively, and they're going to be a foul call with 4.9 seconds left. That's going to go on Southmont. Western Boone was trying to work the ball around, get it to somebody to shoot the basketball.
This next 4.9 seconds, they're huge. All right, trying to get the momentum, the lead going into the half. Oh, they left him open, but he didn't take it. There's 2 seconds. You got to do something.
He throws it up too short, and that's it. And for the first half, tie ball game here at Crawfordsville High School. 22-22 is the score going into the locker room. Western Boone and Southmont both trading baskets and trading turnovers as well.
That they are, and we'll take a break here. We'll be back with you in 10 minutes. You're watching the Sugar Creek Classic Game 1. Tie ball game here as we head into the half.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
A wintry Friday night. A packed gymnasium in a tight-knit community. A shot taken. History made. A state of delirium? No. The state of Indiana. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in your community. Sportsmanship doesn't happen just on the court or on the field or on the mat. It doesn't happen only in the pool or on the green or the track. It also happens in the stands, on the sidelines, on the web, and at home. That's because sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. We remind you to practice good sportsmanship at all high school sporting events. Treat athletes and officials with respect during competition and especially in social media. And support your team's coaching staff. Remember, sportsmanship has a face. Yours. A message from your high school and the Indiana High School Athletic Association. The debate about sports specialization by high school athletes continues. Some argue that high school athletes who play one sport all year long have a better chance of landing a lucrative pro contract. But that's simply not true. In fact, 30 of the 32 first-round picks in last year's NFL draft played more than one sport in high school. Of the 32 players drafted, 22 also participated in high school track and field. 19 also played basketball. Some also played baseball and lacrosse. What's the path to success for high school athletes here in Indiana, no matter what their goals might be? Study hard. Always do your best. And if you can, play more than one sport in high school. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We work in teaming formats, and we prepare students to engage in production-related activities, manufacturing simulations. We create production systems, strategies, flow patterns, and we include the issues of safety, design, production and materials involved, and then maintenance awareness.
We're working with like 3D printing, welding simulators, laser engraving.
A lot of times it's the hands-on. When they're in the shop, they're not sitting behind a desk and doing different things, just getting their hands dirty and actually taking things apart, putting things back together. We are kind of unique that we do actual live work on cars.
If you're not afraid to get your hands dirty, you get down to work, then this is a good class for you.
We teach basic law enforcement. I like to teach what they teach at the Sheriff's Department, City Police Department, and at the Police Academy. I want to be able to teach everybody the basics of what they need to know to get into law enforcement.
We do a lot of hands-on projects, not really a lot of paperwork, but more hands-on, like we do scenarios, we do room searches.
Someone that's hardworking, someone that loves children, someone that has an interest in maybe teaching or social work, even nursing in like pediatrics.
My favorite part is probably getting close with the kids, because I love kids. So whenever they like get attached to you and run up and hug you every day, that just brings a smile to your face.
EMT class. What we're starting to do is we're teaching the skills that EMTs use on a daily basis to preserve life. We usually get called at the worst times in people's lives.
My favorite part is definitely all the hands-on stuff that we get to do with each of our classmates, and we get to really put those things to use when we ride out on the ambulance here and in the clinicals when we're in the ER.
So it's pretty cool because we do get to interact with the paramedics, and like when we do our clinicals, we get to assist them, so it's an actual like preview of our future.
The West Central Fire Rescue 1 class consists of everything that either a career or a volunteer fire department would do according to the state of Indiana curriculum guidelines. We learn basic firefighting, basic building construction, basic fire behavior. We do hazardous materials training. We do vehicle extrication.
There's nothing like it. You look forward to coming to class, and you know it's not part of the day. It goes so fast, and you hate that it goes so fast. But you know, you kind of become like family with all the other kids in the class.
So the class is all about getting the students the basic entry-level skills that they need. CPR and first aid, being able to do a full suite of vital signs on patients, getting them the basic knowledge that it takes to enter the clinical rotation side of our program.
If you're even thinking about anything medical, wanting to do anything in that, you know, field of study or work, you know, just take the class, try it out.
We're going to be taking care of residents in long-term care, learning all their basic needs from transferring to wheelchairs, thickening fluids, passing trays, doing their blood pressure, their pulse, their respirations, making their bed, just everything that they need.
This program will really give me the jump start that I need to help work hands-on in hospitals, nursing homes, anything that I can do to better myself to be a nurse.
That we prepare students for everything heating, cooling related. You know, get them certified, get them prepared for the job market, get them employment ready.
Everybody has an AC, everybody has heating at home. I tried it last year and had a blast with it and decided to take a second year of it.
When you're part of the radio TV class, you're no longer a student, but an employee of a TV station. And we do everything that a TV station would do. We do a live newscast every day that's seen by the entire school, but we do lots more than that. We do movie production, where we actually produce a scary movie every year here at the school. We do podcasting. We learn how to edit using Adobe Premiere.
My favorite part is definitely being on air. I kind of have a big personality and talk a lot, so being on air kind of suits my personality and getting to know everybody and getting to tell the stories of Western Boone.
All right, coming in hot here, the Sugar Creek Classic. The Stars just had the ball, they were not able to make good on their shot, so they missed it. We got 7 minutes and 43 seconds right now. Tied ball game. Colin finally decides to join us.
Sorry about that.
I'm sure he was at the concession
Here's Morton.
stands. There we go. Nice job, Lucas Morton with the three. Puts the Stars in the lead for the first time tonight.
It's a good shot by Morton. Need to find something to get going here. Stars finally have their second lead of the night.
Second lead, that's right. They did start out with the first basket, didn't they?
Yeah, that's true. Spencer Wright had the first 2 points for the game. Justin Howard rolling inside at the elbow. That's rebounded by Wright.
Got to take care of the ball. Let's see what he does here. Kick it out. Nice, easy three by Stoudemire, and he misses it.
Schellenberger gets the rebound, though.
Nice, easy three by Morton, and he misses it.
Just need to stop taking these threes. They're not getting them to fall.
Just take a
Get
break.
inside.
Just take a breather and run the offense. These guys are trying to put up the first points they can take, and it's not working.
You need to take better shots. It was a good shot to take, but not the best one he could have had.
Right now, Stoudemire puts
Nice
two on the
floater.
board. I'm trying to do to Southmont what Southmont did to them. Right now up by 27-22. Southmont's coming in right now.
There's a throw up right there. That's good.
Western Boone moving the ball around.
A nice cash in right there for Patrick Schellenberger's first 2 points of the night. Outside is Howard. Howard rolls inside, floater on the way, no good.
Stopped on the feet.
Yeah, it was caught by the feet of Cortez Stoudemire. You think you count that as a rebound?
Well, I guess so. They got nothing else to do, so. That'll be a foul on number 12 for Southmont. Number 12 is the senior Ryan Stanley. That'll be his second foul, the team's first. The first foul called here on this half. The Stars have been really good at getting their opponent's best players into foul trouble early. We'll see if that can continue tonight.
Yeah, in the win over Covington, they fouled out Elmore, who's the leading scorer for Covington. It's their best player by far. They got him out of the game right as overtime rolled around, and that was probably what propelled Western Boone to that victory to open up the home.
They were able to get Fountain Central's top guy into foul trouble. They were able to get Southmont's, I believe Howard might have even been in foul trouble the game then, and against Harrison, Harrison's second leading scorer was in foul trouble when we were late in the game, so they know who to target. They're not shy.
He's been struggling from the free throw line as of late. He's their leading scorer, 11.9 points per game, but so far from the free throw line, shooting 61%.
He missed that one. Team average is, about 70%, I believe.
He was 1 of 3 in his last game against Harrison from the stripe.
Sloppy pass there. Gets intercepted.
Right with the throw up. It's no good. Schallenberger tried to fly in for the rebound, but it goes to Southmont. Here's Howard. Dumps it inside for Gregg. And that is going to be a blocking foul called on Peyton Young. And Licklider's looking around like, what do you mean? Because he had his feet set.
That didn't really look like a blocking call to me. But
yeah, I don't really agree with that because he had his feet set down low. And once you have your feet set, there's no debating it. You go down, and it's automatic. We've seen that before. Peyton Young is very good at taking charges. Right now, nobody has gotten a charge call yet.
These refs, they're favoring this defense, and coming into this one when they were announcing the names for the refs were not very liked by the crowd. They were booing the refs a little bit, but nevertheless, the threes put up and missed.
That's Justin Howard again with a shot. Here's Wright, pump fake, drives inside, throws it up, and he gets the offset layup.
Puts the score 31-24, and Southmont's only been able to score 2 points since they came out of the break. They're starting to look like the Stars did in the beginning of the game. Moving the ball around to Southmont. Some near misses, but they still have it. Howard has it right now.
He's jumping inside, tries to throw up another shot, and he's gone cold so far in the second half. He was lighting it up from the floor in the first half. Since then, Western Boone's held him in check. 3 ball on the way for Stoudemire. He's missed again. Schallenberger gets another offensive rebound.
Now, this is most prevalent, their first game, the Stars' first game against Lebanon. These guys are able to take out your best player, and kind of like the New England Patriots do in football. They keep that best player from performing to his top ability, and they've been doing that here tonight. We'll go into a quick break here and be back with you in 15 seconds. You're watching high school basketball, the Sugar Creek Classic on WBTV Sports.
Do you need shirts for a school, business, club, or anything else? Give Willie Smith and Smith Tees Screen Printing a call. Smith Tees will give you excellent service with satisfaction guaranteed. Just call 765-436-7930.
Back here in Crawfordsville, Sugar Creek Classic going on. This is game 1, the Stars against the Southmont Mounties. The Stars are up. Surprisingly, I mean, if you looked at the beginning of the game when they were down 9-2, you would have thought this would have been Southmont's ball game, but Western Boone's come back in it, calling 31-24 the score.
Well, Justin Howard's gone pretty cold from the floor. He's only hit about 1 shot in this second half. In first half, he was lighting it up. He had about 90% of Southmont's points coming into the second half. Now, since then, Western Boone's been able to hold them down, and they're forcing other Southmont players to step up and take the shots.
Well, starting lineups for the Stars are in right now. Bit of a change up for Southmont. They have 3 of their original 5 on the board.
Howard is still on the floor. Right there, they free up the paint, and it's taken back by Spencer Wright.
That
Near steal by Howard. That's a blocking foul called. It's on the floor.
Yet another blocking foul here. This one looked legit, though.
There's Drew Glancy with the foul.
Good call.
It's his second foul of the game. 31-24 the score, 3:57 left. Morton gets it in the corner. He's going to loft up a three. It's no good. And another foul is called.
All right, Colin, if you're Southmont, you need to be really careful. You already have 4 fouls to your name just coming out of the half, and you got to be careful. You get this Stars team in the bonus, you can pretty much kiss this game goodbye.
And Schallenberger picks up that foul right there. It's his first foul of the game. Western Boone going with the 1-3-1 half-court trap. That frees up Glancy in the corner. Howard's looking there. He doesn't go there. Instead, he goes over to Austin Bowman.
He's just got that in the back of his mind, and there it is.
And Glancy gets the double team coming on him in the corner, and it's right back to Howard.
Southmont's got a good eye for the ball. They can see their guys who are open, and right now they were able to run through.
There's another shot tossed up by Howard, and a foul on the floor. It's going to be on Southmont. Justin Howard came into this game with 2.3 assists and 4.3 rebounds per game. Defensively, he does a little bit above average than his other teammates. 0.5 steals per game, 0.2 blocks. Currently leads the teams in points per game.
Yeah, he's known for his scoring.
Right there, Morton with the mid-range jumper just inside the key, and it's rebounded by Cole Roach. Howard with a crossover on right, runs into a double team. Finds Glancy in the corner. Glancy with Stoudemire all over him. Howard's going to take the 3 ball. No good. Rebounded by Schallenberger. They've got numbers.
Sorry for interrupting you. There's 2 points for the Stars, but you could tell as soon as Howard let that ball go, that it was going to go wide right, and it sure did. It was just a poor shot by him.
Yeah, you could see it from this angle up here. And it was a good job by the Stars to get numbers and then get on the fast break. So what you need to do if you're Western Boone to get your points in transition, get the fast break and ball movement going. It opens up a lot of passing lanes. Here's Glancy for a 3 ball, cashes in on that one. Nothing but net.
That was pretty. They left him wide open, and he made that rainbow ball that very well known for McAtee, and it worked out for Glancy there.
And this is what Western Boone is doing. They're forcing other players to take the shots. Glancy did a good job of knocking down the jumper. Yeah, his numbers coming into it, 3.6 points per game for him. Shooting about 46% from beyond the arc. And that's right, who cashes in on the jumper.
35-27 the score. The Stars are up somehow after that first beginning of the game struggle. They're up in this one.
Glancy, who hit the 3 ball earlier on the last possession.
You got to be careful giving him the ball out there. You can't leave him open like they just did.
That's an air ball.
And that's the risk. When you got those huge rainbow shots, you're going to leave a lot of those air balls, but a lot of them are also going to be nothing but net like we saw earlier.
If I was going to go on Ryan Stanley, you went over the top of right. Actually, Young to get the rebound. Results in another turnover. McAtee's posting up down low for Western Boone. Morton's going to fly inside, has it blocked in midair by Justin Howard.
He's the smallest of these starting 5, but he can jump just as high as anyone else on the team. He can dunk it. We saw him do some 360 dunks and warm-ups today.
He likes to get those dunks in for the warm-up. Haven't seen him dunk in a game yet. That one's batted out. Western Boone will take it. That's another turnover for the Mounties. The Mounties really need to try and get something going. They need a spark somewhere because Howard's not getting it done right now.
There's a lot of turnovers and a lot of fouls, and you're going to stay in this game right now.
And they're going to take Glancy out.
Down by 8. The Stars have the ball with a minute left in the third quarter.
Bring in number 31, Zane Mason. Actually, that's 32.
They don't have 32 listed on their roster.
3 ball on the way. It's taken by Morton after the missed 3 from Young. Morton throws up a floater, no good. Gets his own rebound, throws it back up, and he's called. Gets the foul called. It's number 14, Austin Bowman, picking up the foul. Morton's done a good job fighting for his own rebound. Nice here float away. Fadeaway jumper by Wright is no good off the back rim. Howard gets it for Southmont. Bringing it up court. Ducks a shoulder. Tries to drive inside. Finds Stanley. Now back to Howard on the elbow. Driving inside, right at the paint. Throws up a shot. Western Boone had all their numbers down low. Not a single player went for the rebound for Southmont.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to put up points, you need to have the ball in your possession. And if you want the ball in your possession, you got to hit up on those rebounds. Now there's 5 seconds.
Morton rolls inside to the rack, and he gets it to fall at the buzzer. Morton using his speed to twist inside and get the layup to fall with the right hand.
We'll head into the third break with a 10-point lead as the Stars, as always, they take a break on the floor. We'll take a break up here. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're watching the Sugar Creek Classic on WBTV Sports.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Indiana, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
And welcome back here to Crawfordsville High School here in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Western Boone holding a 10-point advantage over the Southmont Mounties, the former Sugar Creek Classic champions of last year. Western Boone had to fight their way back in the first half. They went into halftime tied, and since then they've held Justin Howard down to low shooting percentage, and they've taken a 10-point lead out of it. Nathaniel, what'd you see from Southmont here in this half?
A lot of mistakes, and it's not all their fault. This defense for the Stars has tightened up, and of course it's led to the 10-point advantage in their favor. But they've you got to get the rebounds. You got to limit these fouls. They five fouls to their name already.
Here's Glancy.
Howard's been cold. Here's Bowman.
That's a nice splash three right there from Bowman. Bowman cuts it to a 7-point lead. Morton on the other end, though, is going to try one. McAtee fights for the rebound. He got it. He's going to go back up, and he's fouled.
Morton just tried to avenge the three that they let up, and he was not able to make it sink, but they're still up 7, and they'll send McAtee to the foul line.
We've seen McAtee replace Schallenberger. Schallenberger's barely even played here in the second half. McAtee's done a good job of coming off the bench all year, providing a spark offensively.
We're at the beginning of the fourth quarter, 30 seconds into it, and 6 fouls already this half. To Southmont's name, only 2 of them have been called against the Stars, so I'm sure here in the next couple minutes the Stars will slide into that bonus, maybe the double bonus couple after that.
Morton gets the rebound, and he's fouled.
Stars are shooting near 70%, maybe a little over from the free throw line, so if you give them those opportunities, chances are they're going to make quite a bit of them.
Lucas Morton, he's averaging about 2.9 rebounds per game and 0.3 offensive rebounds, but tonight he's done a great job of getting those offensive rebounds for his teammates, either batting the rebound out to shooters, or he's gone up with his vertical and just grabbed him out of midair. It's 1-and-1, and he misses. McAtee gets the rebound. He's going to throw it up, and he will go back to the free throw line.
McAtee's been at the free throw line. Was this his 3rd time tonight?
Yeah, and he's been shooting 50%. He's 2 of 4 tonight. We'll see what he does here. He had made the first one on his last trip, and he missed the second one.
Usually it's the other way around for him. We'll see what happens here. Just want to go up.
He doesn't cash in on that one.
No, I bet you, Colin, that he's going to make the second one.
He's been standing right at that 50% mark all season. He shot 6 of 12 coming into this game.
And he does.
And, of course, remains 50%.
It's almost as if he doesn't want to go over 50%. He drops down below and then goes right back up and stays about as consistent as it gets at 50%.
Still a 9-point lead for Western Boone.
He's also 50% from field goal shooting, at least coming into the game.
Jump ball. Connor Hull forced the jump ball, and Glancy, who had it in the corner, was cowering back as the double team came right after him as soon as he got it.
And like I said, this tough defense for the Stars is what they're showing tonight. Really tightened up after allowing the early points.
Their defense is what really was won them a lot of their games this season. Against Covington, you saw it. Their defensive effort really kept them in the game. Covington was a team that came into that game 6-1 on the year, and it didn't look like anybody could challenge their offensive firepower, but Western Boone held strong with them on the defensive end, and it turned into a lot of offense. And a deep three there from Lucas Morton all the way on the outside wing. About 3 feet behind the arc, he cans it.
He's most known for his three-point shooting, and he puts 3 up on the board there, obviously. Now, Southmont, you can't foul anymore because the Stars are already in the bonus.
12-point advantage for Western Boone. 6:16 to go. Howard's going to throw a 3 up. Too short, off the side of the rim, and a foul is going to be called. Might go on Glancy.
Yeah, it looked like Cole got tripped up a little bit after he got the ball, and that'll send him to the free throw line.
And Connor Hull is going to the line for the 1-1.
That's Glancy's 3rd foul. Something to keep an eye on. Southmont's been called for 9 fouls here this half.
Connor Hull this season shooting 100% from the free throw line. And he keeps it that way, 3 of 3.
See if he can keep it that way once again here from the free throw line. Connor Hull with a lead, up 13, trying to make it 14.
I watched Connor a lot early on in this season working on his free throw after football season got over and they were in practice. He did a good job. He missed a lot of free throws in practice, but he's translated his work into the game, and he has done a good job of knocking down free throws whenever his number's called.
Well, Colin, with 6:09 left in this one, timeout called by Southmont, so we'll take a timeout up here in the stands, and we'll be back in 15 seconds. The Stars leading by 14, the Sugar Creek Classic. You're watching high school basketball.
Do you need shirts for a school, business, club, or anything else? Give Willie Smith and Smith Tees Screen Printing a call. Smith Tees will give you excellent service with satisfaction guaranteed. Just call 765-436-7930. Hey, welcome back here to Crawfordsville High School. Western Boone on top by 14, 44-30 the score. They're doing a good job here defensively in the second half. They cleaned it up a lot. They were down in a 9-2 hole in the first quarter. Since then, they made it a 14-point lead.
In my opinion, the Stars are not doing a good job on defense, Colin. They're doing a great job. Just the way they played has been lights out. And, of course, as soon as I say that, they allow 2 points.
And right there, Connor Hull is called for the blocking foul. Not a single charge call has been made here tonight. And Licklider is arguing that one. It looked like Hull had his feet set down low.
Once again, yeah. And amazingly, the Stars have only been called for 3 fouls this half. 3 out of the 12 total.
It's another free throw opportunity. Too short on that one. Howard is going to chase down the rebound, and it goes to Western Boone. And the Southmont players can't believe it.
Well, they'll take that. The Stars will. No complaints there from Licklider, so.
And he returns to the bench, and he just ducks his head down.
He kind of knows that that one was maybe a little questionable, but he'll let it slide.
Morton flies to the rack, and he knocks it down, slapping the backboard on his way up.
And that was he almost got high enough to dunk that one. Of course, he slapped the backboard instead. Just for such a little guy, it's so impressive how high he can jump.
Wright tips it, stolen. 1-on-2 advantage for him. He flies to the rack, and one play for Spencer Wright. That foul goes on number 12, Ryan Stanley. And Wright's got another opportunity coming to make it a 3-point play.
That's Stanley's 4th foul. And guess what? Double bonus on the board. So the Stars, I don't really see how Southmont can crawl back in this one. It's the Stars are in control.
Wright hits his first free throw of the night. He's 1 for 3.
Of course he's struggling from that line, but at least he hits that one down and cashes in on the end one play. Sets Howard with the ball right now.
Howard's been held under 20 points so far here tonight.
Southmont just trying to find some kind of life here with 5 minutes left.
Glancy rolls inside. Here's Howard on the outside, kicks it back out. Glancy's going to trigger up a 3. Off the back iron, rebounded by Hull. Western Boone with numbers, a 2-on-3. And they're not able to cash in.
That one, I don't know about driving. I think that he should have just slowed it down and ran a little bit of the clock out maybe.
Throw up. Play right there by Justin Howard.
That's number 33, McAtee, will get called on that one. And of the 14 fouls called from both of these teams, only 4 of them have been called on the Stars. Nice job cleaning up their act.
Howard hits the first free throw. Howard shooting 26% from, actually 84% from the free throw line. I was looking at free throws made. He's 26 of 31 from the charity stripe. Makes both. Howard's had to take on a lot of the scoring responsibility after Cam Chad left. Over in the other corner, Cortez Stoudemire still can't get his 3 to fall. He's missed all of his shots from three-point range tonight. He had a career night against Clinton Central 2 weeks ago.
Misses that
three's no good either. Schellenberg tries to get the one-handed floater. It's no good. Rebounded by Southmont. Against Clinton Central, Stoudemire hit 3 of 8 threes, shot 38%, translated into 14 points for him. Then the very next game, he scored 17 on 33% shooting from behind the arc, 1 of 3. Since then, he's only got 4 points.
Roach will put 2 up on the board as he drives inside.
It's a good job by Roach there, using the right hand to float it up. Finally put some points on the board for Southmont. They're currently down 49-36 with 3:25 left as Morton drains another 3 from the outside. That's his hot spot.
It sure is, and the last 3 of his shots, they've come from that exact spot. He's doing a nice job putting 3 up.
Rolling inside and finishing for Southmont. That's Avery Saunders, number 32.
This one's stolen by
Glancy.
Southmont.
That's another blocking foul call.
Okay.
Apparently you can just lower your shoulder and bash anybody over you want and you'll get the call.
Well, now I see why the crowd was booing him earlier. That's pretty rough. And Licklider's just shaking his head.
Yeah, you can't believe it.
At least the Stars are up high enough to where that's not going to make a difference in the game.
These officials were actually booed during their pregame intro from some of these Southmont fans. And I don't know about any Western Boone fans on the other side.
They knew what was up. They heard the name and they said, oh, great, this is going to be a long game. And sure enough, not a single charging foul called. And he lowers his shoulder and football trucks him, and somehow
he gets the blocking
that'll
foul
be the
call.
Third foul on Peyton Young. 2:56 left in this one.
Glancy outside.
He'll be stuck in the corner. Instead, we'll get it back out to Glancy. Drew Glancy
Inside.
to start.
Howard high-fives it up to the basket, and he gets it to fall through. Brings it down to a 12-point lead for Western Boone.
12 points with 2 minutes and 30 seconds in this one. A deep pass. I don't know about that one.
Stoudemire picks it off.
Obviously, a lot of pressure. This one's up.
And that's too strong. The air ball by Morton. He's been dangerous from the three-point line. He's cashed in quite a few of them.
Stars are still looking to shoot. And
Howard lobs it inside. That's a turnover. Miscommunication there on the Southmont offense.
Now watch this. With 2 minutes left, you're nursing this 12-point lead. What you do is you just run the clock out. Am I wrong? But these guys, I guarantee you, they're going to try to shoot this early again.
They're going to try to put some more points on the board before they end this one.
A little bit of confidence booster, I guess.
They scored 48 points in their last game against Harrison.
Almost takes a shot there. Instead,
Wright gets the pump fake, drives inside, lays it up and in, but they're going to call this foul on the floor. It's Drew Glancy picking up another one.
that'll send Wright for 2 shots, free throw line.
Glancy's 4th foul. Wright is 1 for 3 from the stripe tonight.
See if he can improve on that.
And he's going to be 1 of 4. Shooting a very low percentage.
That's going to be something coaches are going to have him practice this week in practice. They're going to have him sit there and just work on his free throws for a little bit.
Well, we saw this in the last game against Harrison. Western Boone just could not hit their foul shots. Spencer Wright, in the beginning of the game, had an opportunity to make it a 2-point game, and he missed both free throws from the free throw line, and Western Boone never got the lead after that. Morton takes it, and a 2-on-1. Morton takes it himself, finishes with the left hand. Scoop layup is good.
55-40 the score, up 15. Stars have a commanding lead here with 93 seconds left.
Glancy gets it. It rolls around the bowl. And it's no good. Wright comes up with it. Try to lob it inside. He goes inside to Schallenberger. Schallenberger fights his way forward. And a hard-fought 2 points for Patrick Schallenberger. He had to get an offensive rebound to get it.
And once again, instead of just taking their time and running more time off the clock, they put another shot up. This is a deep 3. It's a little too powerful. Bounces off the back of the rim.
Schallenberger's looking for it in the post again. He's got to get out of the paint. Otherwise it'll be a 3-second call. Schallenberger comes up on the wing. Finds hole on the other side wing.
Now
Just
they're
working around the outside key.
Down. They're finally starting to slow things down. And
this time Schallenberger dips inside. Reverse layup for Spencer Wright is good. And with 40 seconds left here in this one's pretty much put away. 19 points for Western Boone. That's their lead. And a jump ball. Southmont was really looking to come back into this tournament and capture another tournament title. Looks like they'll be going home early playing in the consolation bracket.
Yeah,
that'll be tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 6 o'clock will be the consolation championship. We still have one more game here tonight that we will be broadcasting, Crawfordsville versus North Montgomery.
And that's stolen right there by Wright.
We'll push the link out for that.
Throws it up, and Hull can't get it to fall after he got the offensive rebound.
Almost put up 60, but instead they'll sit at 59 right now.
And they're going to call a foul here. It's going to go on Western Boone. Howard's going to go to the free throw line. So Western Boone will play at 7:30 tomorrow night against whoever the winner is of North Montgomery and Crawfordsville. Crawfordsville is the heavy favorite to win the this year's tournament title. They've got a lot of guys who can score the basketball.
And the Stars are trying to put up that. They're going to go in tomorrow with underdogs if Crawfordsville ends up winning tonight.
Unless North Montgomery can pull off a huge upset, but the last time Crawfordsville and North Montgomery played each other, Crawfordsville took about 30-point win.
Well, we'll wait and see here.
They're just going to let this one dribble out.
Like I said, we'll be broadcasting this next game, so we'll push the link out. We'll have it. We'll tweet it on our @WeboRDTV, and then we'll go ahead and post it in the chat. So that'll be easily accessible. You can always just go to our WBTV Sports page on YouTube or go to westernbooneradiotv.com to find it. So that'll be it. Colin.
Thank you, Nathaniel.
Not signing off permanently. We'll be back here in a couple of minutes, 20 until the next game starts. Be back here.
Both these teams played well. It's going to be a good championship game tomorrow, hopefully.
It will be. Thanks.
It's 2 best teams.
So Devin Vickery is running our computer. Thank you, Devin, and as well as Tyler Brunny running the camera for a second week in a row. We appreciate your guys' help. We'll be back in 20 minutes here on WBTV Sports. The Stars on top, 59-42 against the Southmont Mounties.